Hey everyone, I'm coming on here to talk about this ongoing battle that so many of you guys are dealing with, which is the battle of work-life balance. And the more you work, the more your personal life suffers, the less time you have for friends, family, hobbies, whatever else it is that you want to be doing. But you need to work to pay those bills, and so all of these people are coming to me saying they're caught up in this vicious cycle of how do I get this work-life balance? Hey, Leah, how are you? Okay, so let me know, like, if you guys are dealing with that conflict, which I think pretty much 99% of people are. Let me know in the comments, what is your situation? What are the constant work-life battles that you find yourself facing? So is it, how do I spend time with my kids and still get the job I want, or still be a great performer at work? Is it, I really don't want to be at work, but I have to pay my bills, but really my dream life is off traveling somewhere, sailing around. I just saw this guy who took off and he's sailing around the world, right? And some people are going, oh, that sounds nice, but that's like a luxury lifestyle. I could never have that. Some people have to work around here, where they have this kind of negative association with work, where it's a have to do versus a want to do. Can anyone resonate with that? So let me know how you perceive this whole work-life balance issue, if this is a source for conflict for you, and how is that playing out in your life? Because it's always good to get real examples from you guys. I mean, I have plenty of examples from my own life and from my clients' lives and those of you who've reached out to me, but it's always better to hear from you, like, what are you going through right now? Hey Sharina, how's it going? Let us know. We're just talking about work-life balance, so let us know what your issues are, your conflicts are, your battles when it comes to work-life balance. Hey Greg, nice to see you. Is this something that you deal with? Let us know. Greg is actually a fitness instructor, so I think he has found his calling. He probably doesn't see work as a huge chore, but I know a lot of you guys are still seeing work as a have to do, and maybe if you're lucky, you can get something that's less of a struggle, but it's still like, if you didn't have to pay bills, you would not be going to work, you'd be on a boat or a plane somewhere traveling around the world, right? So let me know. Hey Estasi, hey Bojana, how are you? Hey Sham, how's it going? Oh, so many of you guys today. It seems like this is a good time to come on. So yeah, this is a really big problem, and I know it sounds weird because we've been raised essentially, like, it's been so drilled into us that work is something that you have to do no matter what. And I know for me, when I was going, oh, what do I want to do for work? I know I want to do something I love, and all the time, like, this was when I was younger, so I'd have older people tell me, well, that's not realistic. Like, work is not fun for most people, so you just have to find something that's more okay. Greg says, all of the time, it's the things about my role I hate, like admin. Yeah, so even when you find your calling, you find your mission, oftentimes you're gonna have stuff you have to do which you don't like to do. So, okay, that's interesting. Hey Pushpa, how's it going? Let us know hey Estasi, let us know, guys, follow in Greg's footsteps. Let us know, what are your personal struggles when it comes to work-life balance. So one thing I wanted to share with you is that you don't need to take this as a given. Oh, hey Dan, how's it going? Comment on the live so that we can all hear what your inputs are. So one thing that I want you guys to know, and I know this is gonna seem like unbelievable, and a lot of you guys are gonna have a lot of trouble believing that this is possible just because of the situation you're in right now, or because you've never had work that you really truly liked. Like, at the end of the day, actually, if you could choose, you would just be not working. But I want you to know that it is possible for you to do work that you love so much, it literally improves who you are as a person, and it improves your personal life, and you would not want to give that work up for the world. Not even to go on a round the world trip, not even to go on a sailboat, not even to just stay home and hang out with your family. Like, no matter what other stuff you love to do, you would not want to give up your job because you love your job and you are your job and your job is making you who you are. It's making you a better person, and essentially it fulfills all of these personal goals. So as opposed to your job being something that, you know, you want to have your life. People tell this to me all the time. Hey, Masi, how's it going? So people tell this to me all the time where they're going, oh, you know, they start dreaming and they're like, oh, I wish I had more time to go camping. I used to enjoy doing this sport, or I used to enjoy this. And I have all these friends I haven't been able to see in so long because of work. Life gets in the way, I'm busy and all that kind of thing. And it's really sad because we spend about 70% of our lives working. So that means we have 30% left to try to fulfill some of our personal goals. I mean, that's a sad way to live. Like that is a crisis. That's a big deal. And I know a lot of people are not seeing it as a big deal, or they'll have some times in the day where they're like, wow, I'm counting down the days of my life sitting here at this computer or in this meeting that isn't getting us anywhere. And you think that, and it's kind of depressing for a second, and then you're like, well, there's no point in thinking about it because that's depressing. I'll just focus on, you know, getting the job done and then making some weekend plan. And I guess that's just how it is. That's, you know, you have to work. And so let's find a job that's less bad kind of thing. But it does not have to be that way. Like I realize that this sounds out there and this sounds kind of like Dan I think Dan, you just said, oh, that sounds really inspirational. Great. I love that it sounds motivational and inspirational, but you know, it shouldn't be motivational. It shouldn't be inspirational. That should just be a given, especially for most of you guys who have a lot of advantages in your life, right? I mean, you have a lot of struggles as well, but compared to a lot of the world's population, you have a lot of advantages. And so for you to still be living in this, well, I have to do what I have to do, you know, I'm not really living the way that if I could choose it would be, but this is life, this is how it has to be. Like, you know, if you want to have that kind of a life that you get to create, where you get to do the work that you want and fulfill all of those personal goals, then you need to make that decision for yourself, because it's not a given for most of society, right? But I want you guys to know that it is possible. So for example, I am back home now for this week. I'm going to be going back to my day job at the end of the week. And I am actually excited to go back to work. Like, some of you guys are at the beach right now, you're wrapping up August, you're wrapping up some kind of holidays, or maybe you decided to take some holidays in September. That's still a nice month to travel around and whatever. So some of you guys are a bit in holiday mode right now, and you're already dreading, oh, but then I have to go back to the office, right? Oh, then, and you're kind of getting in touch with the real you a little bit. You're going and doing things, and you're like, oh, why couldn't all year just be doing what I want to do? But all year can be doing what you want to do. I'm not saying you will no longer have admin, and you will no longer have forums, and you will no longer have some meetings that you don't want to be in. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying all of a sudden you're going to be in this utopia, but you can definitely be spending 80% of your time, if not 90, 95, 99% for some of you people, doing the things that you actually want to be doing, being the person you actually want to be, okay? So I want you to know that this is not talking about a utopia. This is not a motivational talk. This is not inspiration. This is total reality for few people. Unfortunately, it could be reality for a lot more people. How do I know that? Because this is what I help people to do. So I work with them. I work with people who don't have that when we start off, right? They're in a job they don't love, having to work, not able to fulfill their personal goals. And then we work together and they follow the strategy. And at the end of it, now they're creating a career on their terms. So that is why it's not motivational. It's not, oh, for some people it's possible, but for some people it's not. For way more people, it's totally possible, but you just need to know what to do, and you need to have a step-by-step strategy, as opposed to relying on motivation and inspiration, because as we all know, there is no shortage of motivational quotes out there and inspirational stuff, and that's not actually helping people to get into the positions that they want to be in. Hey Lauren, how are you? Hey Abs. Okay guys, So I still want to hear from you. Let me know what your situation is. How do you deal with work-life balance? Oh, hey, Chan. That would be, it'd be interesting to hear from Chan, actually. How is your work-life balance going these days, and how do you perceive that? Yeah. So let me know if you have any questions, if you want to share your personal experiences with this. Even if you guys are still skeptical, I mean, I completely get it. A lot of people are really skeptical that it's possible to have work they love, but I'm sure you guys know some examples of people who are really happy in their jobs. Or if you don't, like, have a look at some of the interviews that we've done here on my channel, like with Jaren the other day and with some others. These are people who have committed to actually living their dream, like figuring out what are my goals. And when I'm talking about goals, not just your job goals, right? Like hitting your KPIs at work. Everyone knows that they should be very results oriented in the office, but then they get home and all of a sudden they throw all their personal goals out the window. Those two goals should be aligned. So your personal and your professional goals should, in a way, actually be one. Like it's almost one and the same, because you're the one spending whether you're working on a professional goal or you're working on a personal goal, that is your life you're dedicating towards that goal. That is your time on this planet. So it had better be a goal that you care about. Otherwise, you're essentially like giving away your life to something that doesn't even actually matter. So that's why it's so important to start working on your personal as well as your professional goals, and to do it, I was going to say sooner rather than later, but I would say to do it now. Like, it's not a sooner rather than later. It's not, oh, let me just get my work goals figured out, then I'll take care of my personal life. All these things need to be figured out together, because they'll actually play off one another. The better things are going in your personal life, the better you'll be showing up at work. The better you're showing up at work, the better your personal life is going to be. Like, once you get a career you're really excited about, the halo effect or that glow effect on your family, your friends, your spouse, your kids is incredible, because now you are a role model for them and you are their inspiration, and they see what is possible because you're an important person in their life, and they see how happy you are, and that has a total effect on them as well. Our greenhouse says, presentation really very much excellent. Oh, okay, I'm glad you like the presentation. Okay. So yeah, I'm starting to ramble on and on and on, as I do, about these kinds of things I'm passionate about. But you guys let me know below what your situation is. How do you deal with work-life balance? Are you still skeptical that it's possible to get a career with purpose, a career that you genuinely look forward to? Or do you believe that there are other people like me out there who, I'm excited to get back into the office soon because I love my colleagues and I miss them, and I miss even the routine. Like, I like having to get up early. I like my walk to the office. I like sitting down and going through my list of to-dos and doing those to-dos and going to those meetings and finding out what everyone else is doing and sharing what I'm doing and strategizing together so that we can help people in a joint mission. And then at the end of the day, looking at what I accomplished, feeling really great about what it is that I accomplished, and then going home and doing, other stuff, which you might call more personal type things. But yeah, like that shouldn't be a big dream. That should just be everyone's work, right? That's what our relationship with work really should be. It should be something you are excited to do, that also delivers value to the world, that also pays you really well because you're delivering so much value, and that makes you a better person, that keeps you growing, that keeps you being the person you want to be, as opposed to saying, here you go, employer, take 70% of my life and just let me have that 30% so I can go for drinks on Friday night because, I need to decompress from the office. That is a sad way to live. No judgment. If you guys are happy that way, then okay, you're happy, excellent. But for the vast majority of you guys, obviously that's not what you want. And yeah, I will stop rambling now. That is the message for the day. But looking forward to what you guys have to say about this. Let me know your questions. If you have a question you want to ask me more personally, you don't want to post it here, then just send me a personal message. And if you guys want to actually start strategizing towards changing that situation, so you're like, oh wow, I actually am serious about changing to a career that I love, that I'm excited about. This isn't just something that's still inspiration, motivation, like you are someone who wants to go out there and actually make that happen, then you can book a career roadmap session with my team. So this week we've opened up a few slots. These are, and like I said before, this is really for people who want to make changes. This is not for people, if you just want inspiration, you just want motivation, you want to feel good, or you want to get some ideas, like I have lots of video resources available, you can check those out. But for those of you who really, really want to start making changes and you want to get a concrete plan for your own life, because obviously your plan is going to be completely different from someone else's plan, then you can book one of those sessions. And the link for that is accelerateYourAmbitions.com/apply. That takes you to my and my team's calendar. So when you get to that calendar, you're going to see what slots are left. So grab whatever slot you can make it for, and then we will call you at that time. And also, just before we get on the session, there's going to be a short questionnaire for you guys to fill out so that we can be ready for the session. So if that is you, you can grab a slot. It's accelerateYourAmbitions.com/apply. Otherwise, I will see you over here in the next video. Don't forget to share what your relationship is with this whole work-life balance struggle right now. What is it that you're trying to head towards? What are your challenges? And I'll talk to you guys soon on the next video. Okay, speak soon.